Wishing our viewers a very happy Eid. You're watching Rajya Sabha television and I'm Smriti Rastogi with Breakfast News. Let's begin the bulletin with the top headlines of this morning. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to meet US President Donald Trump for their first bilateral meeting. Trump to host Prime Minister Modi for a working dinner, meeting to set tone and tenor of US-India ties in the coming years. Prime Minister Modi addresses US-Indian diaspora, says will make India as good as America, talks about terrorism, surgical strikes in his speech, invites American CEOs to invest in country. Srinagar encounter ends after 14-hour standoff, 2 militants killed, 2 jawans injured. Pakistan Army violates ceasefire along the line of control in Naushera sector of Rajouri district. At least 150 killed, 117 injured in Pakistan fuel tanker inferno. The tanker overturned and spilled oil on the road in Bahawalpur. And at the Australian Open Badminton Tournament, Kidambi Srikanth outclasses China's Cheng Long in the summit clash, clinches his 4th Super Series title, second in 2 weeks. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will today meet US President Donald Trump. The two leaders are expected to discuss at White House a wide range of issues, including setting priorities and consolidating gains in the bilateral ties. They will also hold one-on-one and delegation-level meetings. On the itinerary for today, among various discussions, is the Indo-US civil nuclear deal, a host of strategic issues, including the progress on the 2008 civil nuclear deal. The working dinner that President Trump is hosting for Prime Minister Modi is the first of its kind under the present administration. This is Prime Minister Modi's first trip to the US after President Trump came to power on January 20th. This is Prime Minister Modi's 5th visit to the US as Prime Minister. After finishing his 2-day visit to the US, he will embark on the last leg of his tour to the Netherlands on 27th of June. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will meet chief executives of the major US companies on Sunday in a bid to attract investments to India. He also addressed the Indian community in Washington, D.C., where he spoke about the 3 years of his government. He also spoke about India's successful surgical strikes and said that country showed that it can defend itself when needed. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday made a pitch to attract investments in India as he met chief executive officers of leading American companies on the first day of his 2-day visit to the United States. Addressing CEO roundtable with US business leaders in Washington, Modi said that growth of India presented a great opportunity to US companies to contribute to the partnership between the two countries. Prime Minister also said that the implementation of the landmark initiative of the Goods and Services Tax could be a subject of studies in US business schools. The Prime Minister interacted with 21 business leaders, including Apple CEO Tim Cook, Walmart CEO Doug McMillon, and Google CEO Sundar Pichai, all whom reaffirmed their commitment to growing with India.
It was very good. I think it was a discussion across many industries. And I think the Prime Minister was looking for insights into how India can attract more foreign investment. And I think there were many good ideas discussed. But I think everyone is excited to invest more in India. And I'm excited at what we all can do together.
I think it was very good. We reiterated our commitment to India. And we talked about the various things that we do in terms of global sourcing, our Global Technology Center, and the work that we do in the space of farmers as well as women's economic empowerment. So we had a very fruitful discussion.
Later in the day, Prime Minister addressed the Indian diaspora in Virginia, where he spoke about the 3 years of his government and the growth of the foreign ministry through social media and technology. Modi said No country questioned India's action as it succeeded in conveying to the world about the need to uproot the menace of terrorism. He also said that surgical strike demonstrated that India, which normally follows restraint, can also defend its sovereignty and ensure its security.
लेकिन जब हिंदुस्तान सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक करता है तब दुनिया को ताकत का अनुभव होता है कि भारत संयम रखता है, लेकिन जरूरत पड़े तो भारत अपने सामर्थ्य का परिचय भी देता है। हमारी सॉवरेनिटी के लिए, हमारी सुरक्षा के लिए, हमारे जन सामान्य की सुख शांति और प्रगति के लिए कठोर से कठोर कदम उठाने का सामर्थ्य रखते हैं और जब भी जरूरत पड़ी लेते रहे हैं और दुनिया हमें कभी भी रोक नहीं सकती है।
Prime Minister also lauded External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj for using social media in reaching out to the people to help them. He also appealed to the diaspora to keep the bridge with India and ensure a strong bond for the future. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And for more on this, we'll go across to our correspondent AKHILESH SUMAN, who is joining us on phone line. AKHILESH, this will be the first meeting between Prime Minister Modi and US President Donald Trump under the new Trump administration. How significant is this meeting and what is on the agenda of today's meet?
It's very significant, Smriti, because see, this is the time when India is trying to assert itself in the world. Though it was being done for a long time, but Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given it a new connotation. And there are so many issues in the world, specifically on the issue of terrorism. India is trying to play its ball in a way that it becomes a leader in the whole world against the terrorist activities and onslaught all over the world, and specifically on India. And in this part, American role has been very important because, see, America has declared a non-NATO ally to Pakistan long ago when Mr. Obama was in power. And America has been supporting Pakistan financially for a long time for various regions. So it is very important for Prime Minister that he should make it clear that your finances to Pakistan is going into the terrorist bucket. So one of the major things that Prime Minister will talk to him is the question of terrorism, especially in the South Asian region, because American emphasis on terrorism basically is in the Middle East. You can tell that western side of Afghanistan. So, but Prime Minister wants to tell that, see, this is the area which is also very much affected and is increasingly giving rise to instability in the whole region, and it may spread to the whole world. So one thing. Second thing is the strategic issues like, the relationship between India and America has been very important, but how nothing is going very fast because American investment in India comes on so many riders that virtually it is not coming into the manufacturing industry, the defense industry, and other, you can say that nuclear industry. So Narendra Modi wants to convey to Americans that you have also to loosen your rules and acts in a way that it can reach the Indian land. So these are the things that Prime Minister Narendra Modi specifically wants to talk to President Donald Trump.
Thank you so much, AKHILESH, for joining us and giving us all those details on that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the US. Remember, this will be Prime Minister Narendra Modi's fifth visit to the US and first under the Trump administration. Moving on, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday recalled the emergency imposed on that day in 1975 and said that it was the darkest time in the history of India. In his monthly radio program, Man Ki Baat, Prime Minister Modi said that it was essential to remember the incidents which have caused harm to the democracy and move ahead towards the positives of democracy. He remembered that democracy lovers had fought a big battle against the emergency imposed by the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and said that pro-democracy heritage needs to be strengthened. Modi quoted lines from a poem of former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who was among those jailed during the emergency.
लोकतंत्र को आघात करने वाली बातों को भी स्मरण करना होता है और लोकतंत्र की अच्छी बातों की दिशा में आगे बढ़ना होता है। 1975 25 जून वह ऐसी काली रात थी जो कोई भी लोकतंत्र प्रेमी भुला नहीं सकता है। कोई भारतवासी भुला नहीं सकता है।
Israel has announced that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting the country next week, which is the first ever by any Indian Prime Minister. This was announced by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at a weekly cabinet meeting on Sunday. He said that this would be a historic visit, adding that in the 70 years of his country's existence, no Indian Prime Minister has ever visited. He further added that this is a very significant step in strengthening relations between the two countries. Netanyahu added that cabinet will also approve decisions regarding ties with India, including increasing exports, deepening cooperation in fields of water and agriculture, establishing a joint fund for research and innovation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit is aimed at commemorating 25 years of establishment of diplomatic ties between India and Israel. Prime Minister Modi is scheduled to land in Israel on 4th July on a 3-day visit. Earlier in November last year, Israeli President Reuven Rivlin came to India on a week-long state visit, the first by any Israeli president in nearly 20 years. President Pranab Mukherjee also visited Israel in October 2015, symbolizing the growing partnership between the two nations. In the latest developments from Jammu and Kashmir, security forces on Sunday gunned down 2 militants holed up inside a school on the outskirts of Srinagar. In the encounter, which went on for over 14 hours, 2 army men were also injured. The militants had entered the Delhi public school located close to the Srinagar-Jammu National Highway in the evening after attacking a CRPF party in a nearby Pantha Chowk, killing 1 officer and injuring a constable. Meanwhile, Pakistan violated the ceasefire thrice in the past 27 hours. Pakistani troops resorted to firing from automatic weapons and shelling mortars along the line of control in Rajouri district. In another incident, the Pakistani army also initiated unprovoked and indiscriminate firing from small arms, automatic weapons and mortars from 5:50 p.m. in the evening on the Indian Army post along the line of control in Naushera sector. In retaliation from the Indian side, 1 Pakistani post was reportedly destroyed. Earlier in the day, Pakistani troops had opened unprovoked fire from 6:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. on Indian Army post along the line of control in Naushera sector, even as Indian troops returned fire. 7 people were killed in the ski resort of Gulmarg when a cable car came crashing down after snapping mid-air. The incident is said to have occurred after a tree fell on the ropeway, snapped the cables and brought one of the cable cars crashing hundreds of feet to the ground. 4 members of a Delhi family and 3 tourist guides were among those killed. The police rescued around 150 people stranded due to the snapping of the cable car. The incident is said to be the first of its kind in Gulmarg cable car service since it started operating in 1998. The Jammu and Kashmir government has ordered a high-level inquiry into the tragic incident. Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti expressed grief and shock over the deaths and announced ex gratia relief of 5 lakh rupees in favour of the next of the kin of the deceased. Amid the ongoing indefinite shutdown in Darjeeling, the Gorkha Janmukti Morcha leadership on Sunday said that there will be partial relaxation for 12 hours for the Muslim community to celebrate Eid. The GJM maintained that the relaxation in plying of vehicles would only be for the Muslim community, nor for the general public. Darjeeling remained tense but incident-free on Sunday. Security forces patrolled the streets as the situation in the hills, where the shops and markets other than medicine outlets remained shut and internet services suspended. The GJM head office in Singhmari, which was closed after the police raid on June 15th, was opened on Sunday. Meanwhile, in Siliguri, an outfit, Amra Bengali, organized a rally in protest against the separatist movement of the GJM. The steering committee of farmer leaders on Sunday rejected the Maharashtra government's mega loan waiver scheme, saying there should be no upper limit for the waiver. The BJP-led government had on Sunday unveiled a 34,022 crore rupees farm loan waiver scheme, under which debts of up to 1.5 lakh rupees would be written off, giving relief to 89 lakh farmers. However, the committee of farmer leaders demanded that the entire overstanding loan be waived. A meeting of the steering committee is likely to take place in Nasik on July 9th, where the waiver scheme and details would be discussed. The committee then kickstart a Sangharsh Yatra against the government, which will conclude on July 23rd. The steering committee of farmer leaders and activists was formed amid the farmers' agitation in the state earlier this month. And now weather news. The flood situation in Assam improved on Sunday, while hot and humid weather conditions prevailed in many parts of the northern states, even as Mumbai and Konkan area received heavy rainfall. In Assam, over 45,000 people are still affected in Lakhimpur, Karimganj, Shivasagar and Jorhat districts of the state. Heavy showers drenched Thane and Palghar districts since yesterday. Mahabaleshwar recorded 114.1 millimeters of rainfall, Nasik 58.6, Sangli 11.9 millimeters. It was a sunny day in the national capital with the minimum temperature recorded at 30 degrees Celsius, 2 notches above the season's average, while the maximum was 39.4 degrees Celsius. Haryana and Punjab experienced sultry weather conditions, while the weathermen predicted showers in both the states for the next couple of days. Since yesterday, Jaipur, Udaipur, Rajya and Dungarpur in eastern Rajasthan recorded rainfall between 1 to 5 centimeters. Eid ul-Fitr is being celebrated across the country today, the festival marking the culmination of fasting and holy month of Ramadan. This after Shahi Imam of Delhi's Jama Masjid, Syed Ahmad Bukhari, announced the sighting of moon. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, during his monthly radio program Man Ki Baat, also greeted people on the occasion, saying the holy month of Ramadan was celebrated with devotion. Now it's time for Eid. President Pranab Mukherjee on Sunday greeted the country as he expressed hope that the festival will strengthen the people's unflinching faith in the unity and common destiny. Meanwhile, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari also wished people and stressed on festival's significance for strengthening brotherhood. He added that the festival reaffirms the spirit of compassion, charity and generosity in our lives. And with that, we'll head into a very short break. More news and updates on the other side. Stay with us. Harappan sites are a treasure trove of sophisticated pottery. These creations show tremendous advances by the potter's wheel. Creations like the perforated jar, the copper axe, the chisel and knives astound even present-day archaeologists. Figurines depicting yoga poses, chess pieces display a complexity unsurpassed even by later-day civilizations, all of which make the Harappan civilization truly unique.
Hello and welcome. I'm Amritan Shirai and you're watching Law of the Land.
Jammu and Kashmir does have a special status.
Database should be available for all states.
We are not touching the jurisdictions of the Jammu and Kashmir Collection of Statistics Act.
Watch Law of the Land on Rajya Sabha television.
News from Pakistan, where at least 150 people were charred to death and 117 others injured in a massive blaze in Pakistan's Punjab province. The incident happened after an oil tanker overturned and crowds rushed to collect the fuel that spilled over the highway. The tanker then caught fire, apparently sparked by a passerby lighting a cigarette. Hundreds killed and scores injured in oil tanker inferno in Pakistan's Bahawalpur city on Sunday. Reports say the tanker filled with oil overturned and spilled while trying to navigate a turn. A huge crowd to collect the oil from the spillage. Traffic police tried in vain to keep the crowds away from the tanker as local people including women and children, continued collecting fuel. A huge fire then erupted, engulfing all the people standing around the vehicle.
सामने एक धमाके की आवाज़ आई है तो वहाँ पहुँचे और आग लगी हुई थी इंसान अब ये टैंकर को और ये मोटरसाइकिल चल रहे थे आदमी इंसानों की यहाँ डेड बॉडियाँ थी तकरीबन 126-27
पड़ने के बाद पेट्रोल जैसे निकला है लोगों को जैसे नजरें पड़ी हैं उन्होंने शोर मचाना शुरू कर दिया है पेट्रोल 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 और काफ़ी सारे बंदे जो थे गैलनों के अंदर जगहों के अंदर और काफ़ी सारे बोटल्स थे उनके पास तो उन्होंने उसके अंदर पेट्रोल भर के साइड पर रखते गए तो एक पेट्रोलिंग पुलिस वाले जो थे भाई उनकी अपनी गाड़ी जिस टाइम जल चुकी है वो और मैं हम दोनों थे हम लोगों ने वास्ते किए हैं हाथ जोड़े मिलते किए भाईजान ब्लास्ट हो जाएगा मेहरबानी करें लेकिन उन्होंने मेरी बात नहीं मानी जिसके बायस ब्लास्ट हुआ है.
Several vehicles were damaged in the fire, including 6 cars and 12 motorcycles. Fire and rescue teams immediately reached the accident site and doused the flames. Bodies of many were charred beyond recognition. Army helicopters were dispatched to ferry casualties to hospitals. The nearby Ahmedpur Sharkia Health Centre and Bahawal Victoria Hospital have no burn units. As a result, some casualties were taken to distant hospitals. The death toll is expected to rise as many of the injured are reported to be in a critical condition.
पाकिस्तान एविएशन के हेलीकॉप्टर्स आ चुके हैं जो क्रिटिकल जितने भी इंजर्ड लोग हैं उनको बहावलपुर से मुल्तान और आगे खारिया बर्न सेंटर में मुंतकिल किया जा रहा है.
The tanker had been transporting 25,000 liters of fuel from Karachi to Lahore. Traffic on the national highway route has been suspended. Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is cutting short a visit to London in response to the incident. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And now more news from across the world in World Wrap. At least 9 people died when a passenger boat sank on a reservoir in northwestern Colombia. About 28 people are missing after the Almirante vessel went down near the tourist town of Guate. There were about 150 people aboard. Rescue boats hauled victims from the water and the top deck of the vessel. Army helicopters and divers have been sent to the scene. US says that some demands set by 4 Arab states on Qatar in return for lifting sanctions will be difficult to meet. US Secretary of State Rex Tillerson on Sunday, however, said that proposals provided a basis for dialogue leading to a solution of the crisis. The statement comes after Qatar rejected the list of 13 conditions imposed by the Saudi Arabia and its allies, Egypt, the UAE and Bahrain, for lifting the sanctions. Qatar has been under diplomatic and economic sanctions for more than 2 weeks by the 4 countries. Cladding on 60 high-rise buildings across 25 local authority areas in England has failed fire safety test. There are plans to test the fire resistance of cladding up onto 600 buildings following the Grenfell Tower fire in North Kensington on 14th June. All buildings examined so far have failed the test. Firefighters had said they could not guarantee the safety of the buildings, which has cladding similar to the Grenfell Tower, where the fire is feared to have killed at least 79 people. Rescue workers in southwestern China pulled bodies out of the piles of rocks and mud on Sunday as they search for 93 missing people. This after a landslide buried a mountain village, with some residents giving up hope of finding survivors. A huge landslide crashed down on the village of Shimao in mountainous Sichuan province as dawn broke on Saturday. 15 people have been confirmed killed. News from sports. Indian shuttler Kidambi Srikanth continued his brilliant form as he clinched his 4th Super Series title by winning the Australian Open Super Series title on Sunday. The world number 11 Srikanth put up an incredible performance against reigning Olympic and world champion Shen Long, once again outclassing his opponent in straight games 22-20, 21-16. Both the shuttlers were neck to neck in the early exchanges, but Srikanth held his nerves to win 2 consecutive points to take the first game 22-20. The Indian then quickly hit his stride to win second game 21-16 in a 45-minute clash. This was Srikanth's second consecutive Super Series title after he won the Indonesian Open Super Series crown last week. India defeated West Indies by 105 runs in the second ODI at the port of Spain. Put into bat first, India made 310 for 5 in a match that was reduced to 43 overs aside due to rain. Openers Ajinkya Rahane and Shikhar Dhawan once again laid the platform for a big score with 114-run partnership. Rahane went on to score his third ODI ton as India pushed on the scoring through captains Virat Kohli's superb 50, set to score 311 runs for a win. The host could manage only 205 for 6 in the stipulated overs, with spinner Kuldeep Yadav claiming 3 wickets. With the win, India took 1-0 lead in the 5-match ODI series. The third match will be played on Friday in Antigua.
इस बार पैड लाइन पे स्विंग किया और मैक्सिमम.
And more sports news in Sports Beat. Ankush Dahiya clinched a gold while the experienced Devendra Singh settled for a silver medal on the final day of Ulaanbaatar Cup boxing tournament in Mongolia. 19-year-old Ankush defeated Korean Man Choi Kol in 60 kilograms category in the split verdict. And Devendra lost to Indonesia's Aldoms in 52 kilograms category. Again, a split decision. India thus signed off with a gold, a silver and 3 bronze medals from the tournament. India went down 2-3 to a resilient Canada in the 5th-6th place playoff of the Hockey World League semi-finals on Sunday. India squandered a 2-1 lead after a Harmanpreet Singh brace from penalty corners. Gordon Johnston, Keegan Pereira and goalkeeper Anthony Kindler scored for Canada. Canada, in the process, booked their place in the 2018 World Cup. Roger Federer claimed his 92nd career title by winning Gary Weber Open for the 9th time on Sunday. He defeated Germany's Alexander Zverev 6-1, 6-3 to win the title in Germany. Federer has won the Australian Open, the BNP Paribas Open and Indian Wells and Miami Open titles so far this season. Red Bull's Daniel Ricciardo won a chaotic Azerbaijan Grand Prix on Sunday. Formula One Championship leader Sebastian Vettel finishing 4th after being penalised for swearing into rival Lewis Hamilton, who came home in 5th. Hamilton's Mercedes team mate Valtteri Bottas finished 2nd, while Canadian teenager Lance Stroll was 3rd. Valentino Rossi edged out compatriot Danilo Petrucci in the thrilling battle to claim his first MotoGP win in over a year in Assen on Sunday. Rossi claimed victory by just 0.063 seconds to move within 7 points of championship leader Andrea, who had to settle for 5th. And that's all we have for you in this edition of Breakfast News. Keep watching Rajya Sabha television.